Hey, YouTube family, it's Dana Shay, and we are live at 5. Actually, it's live at 5:05. I was having some technical difficulties, so we are a little bit late today, but I want to do a really quick video today about what every Christian should know about marriage, but don't. They don't know this about marriage. And if you guys have just been following me, maybe you're new to my channel, I want to encourage you to subscribe and make sure that you have your notifications on. We go live at 5 every day, Monday through Saturday. And so I want to make sure that you are actually in the know every single time I upload a video. I also upload my vodcast from Real Relationship Talk. So I we'll have that ready for you today, a little bit later on. So today being Wednesday, I guess I shouldn't have said today because this is an evergreen video. Don't know when you're watching it, but let's go ahead and jump into the topic of today's video. So the topic that we are talking about today is what Christians don't know about marriage. And this video is going to be pretty short because I just have one thing. And this one thing is it literally could spawn 50 other videos, okay? And so this is why I'm saying we're going to focus on this one thing, but it's a super important thing. Listen, if you are a Christian, a Christ follower, a believer, whatever you want to call yourself, you need to know that marriage has a purpose. And the problem, what happens with a lot of Christians is they get married because they want to be happy. They get married because some of them feel guilty about having sex, right? Let's just keep it real. They get married because they want companionship. They get married because they fell in love. That we all have lots of different reasons why we get married. But the one thing that Christians don't realize about marriage is that marriage is supposed to disciple you to be more like Christ. That's it. So listen here. A lot of times people will say things like, I used to say this. I used to be a really happy person until I got married, right? And what is that? It's not that I was a really happy person until I got married. It was that I had some stuff inside of me that I didn't want to deal with, or that I didn't know that I had inside of me. And that was not revealed until I got married. Once I got married, my husband became a tool of our good Lord to stir that stuff up inside of me and to bring it out of me. And so people will say things like, oh, that person just brings out the worst in me. But the truth is, you want that person to bring out the worst in you, because why would you want to keep the worst in you? And so instead of us being like, well, this isn't working, I didn't get married for this, I didn't sign up for this is too much, I don't have time for this. What we need to understand is that as a Christian person, when you get married, you are literally signing up for discipleship. And what do I mean by that? Well, to disciple means to train, to teach, to bring into the faith, right? And so if you are a Christian on your own, you're not going to know what your blind spots are. You're not going to really know all of your weaknesses. You are going to need someone to help you understand those things about yourself. And what better person to do that than your loving spouse? And that is exactly what they're going to do. They're going to push all your buttons. They're going to say things to you that you don't want to hear. They are going to do things that you don't like. And you are going to have to ask yourself, am I willing to be Christ to my spouse in this situation right here? Because it's all like when we're in church, y'all, and we're sitting there and we're like, yes, Jesus, this is my song. We've got our hands raised. We're like, I'm worshiping. And then we go home and we can't stand our spouses. Like, God isn't pleased with that. And so what he will do is he will allow our spouses to irritate us, right? Just like that oyster. In order for a pearl to be formed, you know the story of the oyster or pearl. In order for that pearl to be formed, there has to be an irritant that gets inside of that oyster. And as that oyster releases these chemicals to rid itself of that irritation, a beautiful, priceless, treasured pearl forms. And that's what happens in marriage when our spouses do things that irritate us. I'm not talking about abuse. I'm not talking about toxicity. I'm not talking about those things. We've covered those things on other videos. What I'm talking about is they're doing things to irritate you. They're getting on your nerves. They're rubbing you the wrong way. They're pushing your buttons. You have a responsibility and a choice of how you're going to respond. Are you going to respond according to the fruits of the Spirit? Love, peace, joy, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, self-control. Are you going to respond that way? Or are you going to respond in the world's way, which is, like I just said earlier, I don't have to take this. I didn't sign up for this. I could do bad by myself, right? And so, what I find in my own marriage is instead of getting upset with Sean when he's pushing all those buttons, I can ask myself, God, what are you trying to teach me in this? What are you trying to bring out of me that is not like you? And you all, I think if we approach marriage with this in mind, we're going to see way less divorces. We're going to see much more intimacy and connectivity, because when you go through things in your marriage, if you go through them well, then it actually has the potential to make you stronger. We're going to see more mature believers, because there are a lot of Christians out here who are just as immature as all get out, who they want to, sing about fighting devils, but they can't, make up with the spouse that they're fighting with. And so I just believe that every Christian needs to know this before you get married. You need to understand what you are signing up for. You are signing up for discipleship boot camp. And if you are not strong enough to take it, stay single. That's it. Thanks for joining today's video. We'll see you right back here tomorrow, live at 5. Take care.